Oh my gosh, I just realized that I filmed an entire video on my updated portable console collection, and then I realized I was filming in 480p, 30 frames per second, because I was trying to get like a small storage video to send to a guy about an issue I was having with my things over eBay. He gave me his email, and we resolved it. It was awesome. Awesome customer service, 10 out of 10. Shoot, I forgot to link his eBay in my DS Lite review. Anyways, here we are talking about portable consoles because I have issues with my keeping my console private, my collection private. I have to share it with you guys. You guys have to know because I'm so excited. I got a couple updates that I think you guys will appreciate. So, let's start out with the Granddaddy Game Boy. This is pretty classic. You hold it, you hold it. It's a solid piece of technology. It's the brick that clicks. It's a legit crunchy boy. Game Boy games. I got a couple updates. I bought. Let's see. Right. I bought a copy of Pokemon Blue, which is flush. Looks nice and good with my copy of Pokemon Yellow. Both of these, by the way, are legit. I think. Although, hang on. That ESRB is black. But that one is white. And that one is white. But that one is black. What is going on here? Wait. But that one is white. And none of my other ones have ESRB ratings. Okay. That's not important. I bought a copy of Pokemon Blue. So if you've seen the reviewing the 10-year-old save file or whatever I called that video, it's there. It's a fun game. Graphically, Pokemon Yellow is just solidly better, and Pokemon Gold is solidly better than that. Oh, I swapped the save battery in this, by the way, so we're good. Everything is good. I have the three coolest versions of Pokemon on the Game Boy. That's all. Okay, next. We also have a couple other games, but those aren't important. Right. I grabbed the GBSP instead of my other Game Boy Color. Game Boy Colors, they looking good. Nothing's really changed. I don't really use these moderately unless I really want to get nostalgic. Like, I want to take Pokemon Yellow and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to play Game Boy like I used to. I don't really do that. Wait a minute. I just realized I have Pokemon Blue and the Grape Game Boy. That looks good. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Okay. Anyways, there they are. Beautiful Game Boy colors. Absolutely wonderful. No updates to the collection. Check out my previous collection video if you want to see every game I have. Oh, right. I also bought a copy of Tetris for my Game Boy, so now it is complete. Tetris on the Game Boy is a lot harder than new Tetris, but we're not going to get into that. Next up, Game Boy Advance SP, most satisfying closing sound of all time. Uh, Honestly, still my favorite way to play Game Boy games. Unless it's a Game Boy Advance game. In that case, I kind of have drifted to the DS Lite, I'm not gonna lie. Not that it has a better form factor, but that screen is so nice. It's like Game Boy Micro levels of nice. Except the Game Boy Micro wasn't compatible with any Game Boy Advance accessories or original Game Boy games for some reason. But that's not important. Next console. Right. The DS, aka the third pillar. A lot of updates on the DS, by the way. First off, we have Super Mario 64 DS. Not an update. I did have that on my 2DS before I bought the DS. We also have Mario Kart DS in there in the DS Lite. That's not yet. And one more thing we bought. Well, I bought. I don't know why I keep saying we. I'm not Venom. We bought Cooking Mama on the DS. This is a really bad impression. Yeah, I don't know what I was. I don't even know where I was going with that. Anyway, I bought Cooking Mama on the DS. Very fun. It's kind of a blast. Not gonna lie, and I kind of bought it because I watched a Jaden Animations video on speedrunning. That's not important. It's a blast. I have had a great time. This thing is a gorgeous console. I really love playing it. I'm probably going to do a repaint on the finish because look at this here. I'm going to turn on the... Ooh, yeah, it's quite yellowed. Like, the person, like, left their DS in the sun for a couple years. Probably was on a shelf or something. Next up, DS Lite. The guy did send me a cartridge slot cover. I covered that in the review, though. Couple things. The right bumper, I noticed. Right. Right. It only clicks. Yeah, there we go. I got it. Doing its thing. The right bumper doesn't always click, like, satisfyingly. Unless, like, you hit it, like, right in the sweet spot. But that's not really a bad thing. Gameplay-wise, alright. There's the mysterious dot. Doesn't always want to come out. You can see it when I drag my finger along the screen. I don't know what it... There it is, the mysterious dot. This is what I was talking to the eBay seller about. We did resolve it. Neither of us know what's going on, but it's not affecting it. And in fact, if I tap the screen, it goes away. Mysterious dot is my new best friend. We're gonna name it. Put a name in the comments, by the way. What should we name the mysterious dot? He goes away when you tap the screen, but he comes back when the console gets shut sometimes, or you put pressure on the screen. Comes with an aftermarket stylus, gorgeous. Actually, really goes well with the silver. So when I do refinish the original DS, I'll probably paint the stylus just to because I have issues. But yeah, that's the DS Lite. Not really the most unique console in the world. It's not my favorite DS. I do really like the motif they were going for. It's much prettier than the original DS. But I can't say I like the functionality. Next console, and by far my favorite Nintendo Portable, and I know a lot of you probably just cringed, it's the 2DS. So, I know a lot of you are probably saying, Christo Chat, the 2DS sucks, there's no 3D, and it doesn't fold, and it's bad. But, look, shut up, this is my channel. Only I'm allowed to talk. I'm gonna turn on the torch so you guys can really... Nope, turn it off. So many fingerprints on the screen. Okay. By the way, I have the cold right now, and every time I cough, everyone looks at me with, like, the most suspicious face ever. But yeah, so 2DS, let's see if it turns on. Aha! She powers on. It's struggling. It has... 2DS was by far the most comfortable 3DS. Don't at me. This thing still has 3/4 battery. Let's go. I downloaded the Air Race games on it because I used to play the demo when I was like 14, and they were fun. So I got both of them for like $1. But the 2DS, by far my favorite version of the 3DS. Because quite frankly, so here's my recommendation. Unless you have the money to buy a new 3DS, like not new as in like in box, I mean new as in like the model, the new 3DS. Unless you have the money to do that, buy a 2DS. You're not gonna use Amiibo as much as you think. Trust me, it's getting Amiibo functionality with the new 2DS. It's not as good as you think. Also for those when your stylus breaks. This is something I invented when I was a kid. My stylus broke. It wouldn't stay in the console. So what I did, I took some tape. This is just normal masking tape, and I just put it on the stylus, and now it's nice and stiff going in. It stays in there. It doesn't go out. Up. Accidentally powered it on. Nice and safe in there. Best 3DS. Don't at me. This thing is insane, and quite frankly, if you don't have the money to buy a new 3DS for some reason, buy a 2DS. It's such a good variant of the 3DS. Okay, and underappreciated too. And then I naturally had to get the spiritual successor to the 2DS when I was going for an upgrade. is the 2DS XL. Oh, actually, I have a funny story with the 2DS. For those who didn't watch my half-hour video on my other collection video, so my original 2DS, the right bumper broke, and it wasn't like snapped, but it just wasn't working. When I clicked it, nothing happened because the thing got knocked out of joint. I never opened it. I just dealt with it, even though you just had to like reseat the contact, which would have been just an easy process. You could have even just like tapped it and it would have gone back into place. But what I ended up doing is I was watching. I used to bring my 2DS into the bathroom, like someone would bring like their phone or something, and I used to watch YouTube like. Yes, I will watch the YouTube in here. Safely away from my family. So I would watch YouTube in the bathroom, and something. I think I was watching a FNAF video because I got jump scared, right? And I straight up dropped the 2DS. I was like, "Blah!" And it falls on the floor, and the right button starts working again. And I was like, yes, 2DS has been saved. So yeah, for a while I couldn't shield in Super Smash Brothers, and it was very sad. But yeah. Other than that, spiritual success to the 2DS. The 2DS XL is a gorgeous console and a lot less functional. I'm gonna be honest. The amiibo support and this little C nipple here, it's not worth it. It performs a bit better. Like the process is just a bit better. So it loads games faster. It used to be able to use Miiverse while using Smash Bros. So like I would always ask people, how did you put that screenshot of Smash Bros on Miiverse? And they were like, you can't do that? And I'm like, yeah, because I was on an original 2DS and the other person was on a new 3DS, and they're like, well, I don't know why you can't do that. I can do it perfectly fine. And I'm like, oh man. But yeah, so new 2DS, really good. But just a couple of things were weird with it. First off, I don't think the folding was the play. They should have just made a bigger 2DS. It would have been awesome. But I guess that was one of the main complaints was, oh, why doesn't this thing not fold? It's called 2D. Well, that's not why, but like, it's not made to fold. It's made to be more kid-friendly. And these things, these little hinge joints, these little hinges, this little hinge and this hinge are all notoriously not child-friendly. That's why the 2DS doesn't fold, and quite frankly, it's better for that. It's more comfy. But they decided to go with the folding design, and I can't say I agree with it. Yeah, there's not really much else to say. Other than that, collection update. I got Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire just to experience that game because it's a blast to play through. I actually got my first shiny while playing through. It was a shiny Slackoth that I am not evolving past a Vigoroth because I do not want a weak shiny. Anyways, but the 2DS XL, extra shoulder buttons, I guess, for when you need to play those first-person shooters. The only first-person, or it's actually a third-person shooter that I can think of that's good on the console is Ironfall Invasion, I think it's called. It's like it's most comparable, really, to, I don't know. The shooting mechanics are pretty average. It's honestly like a pretty average game. I'll probably end up buying the full version actually, but the demo had like the online play and the first mission. And without the C stick nipple, it's honestly not even worth playing. It's just a typical 3D shooter on the 3DS where you just use the screen. And like that's never been a good idea. Because part of the charm of using a second stick is you still have the rest of your hand to interact with the buttons, which is an issue when now you have to reach up to use the stick instead of reaching down. It's a lot easier to reach down for something than reach farther up on the controller to do it. But it is functional. It's a functional first-person shooter that works with the C-nub, and doesn't benefit at all from the extra triggers, but that's fine. 2DS XL though, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. To give these all reviews, okay, easy peasy. 8 out of 10. 6 out of 10. I don't like the Game Boy Color as much as I thought I would. 9 out of 10. If I had an AGS 101, it'd be a 10. 9 out of 10 as well. I really like the charm. I really like the console in general. It's a lot more comfortable to hold than a DS Lite, and quite frankly, in my opinion, more functional. But we're not going to talk about that. I just prefer the clicky buttons over the meshy ones. That's fine. 9 out of 10. 6 out of 10. She's pretty, but not good. Absolute chonker. 10 out of 10. Perfect. No talking about it. This is the best Nintendo Portable, in my opinion. If you want to buy a Nintendo portable console, buy this. You get access to DS, 3DS, not new 3DS, but that's fine. You get all the best games. There's not really much worth it on the new 3DS except for Minecraft. If you're really after that on the 3DS. Minecraft. That's the only reason to buy a new 3DS. Except for the C-nipple amiibo support and extra triggers. Also, I don't like where the cameras are on this one, but that's fine. Yeah, they're kind of just hanging around. But yeah, you only really buy this for Minecraft, and I don't, to be completely honest, I don't think the new 3DS line is really worth it. I finally got that out. But yeah, that's all my rankings. Let me know which one's your favorite in the comments by name. I'm going to have you guys see if you remember your stuff. Let me know which one's your favorite in the comments by name. And I'll talk to you guys later. That's all I have to say. That it's been a trip. Christo Chat out. Subscribe, please.